Anyone over 30 can probably remember a time when getting your picture taken was somewhat of a special occasion. It required an actual camera, film, and developing. Nowadays, we just reach for our phone and snap away. That only makes an actual photo shoot more of a rarity and brings us to this week's show, Say Cheese. We'll begin with Picture This, the life of a portrait photographer taking everyday people and making larger-than-life images.
I love the thought of being able to pass down memories long after I'm gone, that they'll still be here for future generations.
Then on to a Naples family with a tradition of making cheese. Fresh for you will give you just enough to whet your appetite. Plus a sneak peek at the newest nerdy destination, a new feature of the Daily News. He may be cheesy, but we love him.
I hope to inform, entertain, and occasionally even amuse you. Won't you join me in my new column, News for Nerds?
We'll have those stories along with the latest in our Positively Healthy medical series. I'm Amy Osher, and this is Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. Thanks for joining us. It's said you can't go wrong taking pictures of kids or animals, and it may look that way, but there's stiff competition among photographers, and their subjects can be downright challenging. At the end of the day, they have to grin and bear it. Heather Alexander's job is to deliver smiles.
Ready, smile. Lily, say trick or treat.
The old cheese still works. One of the tricks that I usually use is to say trick or treat, because then it reminds them of candy.
Taking tots to the beach for a photo session is a high-risk reward proposition.
Hey, put you guys' legs straight out and kick them up like you're a mermaid and you're gonna kick your tail up. And you're trying to splash Jackson.
Dreamy beach backdrops are what everyone is looking for.
Over to this side, you've got the causeway in Sanibel. You can even see the lighthouse from this beach. It also has got really fantastic tide pools where you can get just the most gorgeous reflections off of them.
Along with creative costuming and props that make an editorial statement. Kind of a whimsical look?
Yes, with some of it I get a whimsical look, with some of it I get a really gorgeous fantasy look.
Heather's #1 competition is only an arm's length away. Phone maker Samson estimates the average person will take 25,000 selfies in their lifetime. So professional photographers are forced to expand their horizons.
I make all my own costumes, I design my own sets, and I don't like anything that's really store-bought. One of the things that make us so different is being able to come up with so many more creative ideas and being able to work it with different angles as opposed to what you do with a phone.
5-year-old Kalia is treated like a princess, getting snapped with her BFF, making mermaid memories.
She loves to have her picture taken. She poses and likes to put makeup and lipstick on and do her hair, and so this is right up her alley.
At the end of the day, these photos are priceless to parents, something to hang on their wall, not store in a cloud.
It means the world to me to go back and just to see how much he's grown and to have those memories forever.
That's great.
Making images people treasure will never go out of style. On to cheese of another flavor. While states like Wisconsin and Vermont are known for their cheeses, artisan cheesemakers are a different variety. Altogether, a Naples family is proof that you can make quality cheese almost anywhere, wherever there's a curd and a whey.
Hello, my name is Stefania. We are in Liliana Cheese and More Factory. And right now the Casaro is making the mozzarella cheese, homemade mozzarella. This is the curd. The curd have to stay on the table for at least half an hour to open up. And then it's mixed with the water, cold water. He's taking out the cold water. Now he's going to pour instead the hot water. The procedure between the cold water and the hot water, it's shocking. So it's like shocking the curd, so it's making the mozzarella. Like 20 minutes, mix it up like this. Between the cold water and the hot water is the one making the curd stretching, so you see, it's stretching. You can do different side, depend how many ounces you want it. We go from the Lire cherry to small side and the big side of mozzarella. Now he made handmade, but now we're gonna show you how it's working the machine to make the mozzarella.
Now I can open it here.
Now you open the machine, you put the mozzarella inside. How is working the machine? You see? Our homemade mozzarella from Liliana cheese. We do, as you know, the homemade mozzarella cheese. We do the burrata, the one mixed inside with the heavy cream. And then we do caciocavallo. Caciocavallo is a dry-aged mozzarella. It's aged for 4 months. And then also can be smoked caciocavallo. We do the ricotta cheese, the sweet ricotta cheese and the salty ricotta cheese. We do Asiago, we do Fontina cheese. My favorite cheese, I'm gonna say probably the burrata, the soft milky mozzarella, and I really like the caciocavallo.
Okay, think of him as a less cool Jay-Z. Our Jay Schlichter is a self-proclaimed master of all things nerdy, and he's propelling himself into the spotlight with a new online and print feature looking at geek culture. For that reason, we're calling him Jay Cheese.
Hey there! You ever wanted to learn how to be a nerd? Well, guess what? You've come to the right guy.
There is no shame in partaking in Dungeons & Dragons or geeking out on gaming culture. In his bi-weekly News for Nerds column, Jay Schlichter is embracing all things that once defined the tech-talking, sci-fi-loving geek culture. Once a target of ridicule, nerdy is now trendy.
With the advent of people like Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, as well as people also like Elon Musk, they've made it cool to be a nerd because everybody has to have what they, the things that they've come up with. Everybody is in love with technology these days, and everybody's become a geek in some way, in some form or another. I mean, I think there's different types of nerds now. You have everything from, book nerds to science nerds to techie nerds to computer nerds, you name it. And I think, yeah, kids are still going to tease as they were, but nerds have, they've gained a lot more respect than they once had at one point. I hope to cover a little bit of everything, kind of like I talked about earlier, where there's book nerds and science nerds and everything in between. I kind of love all those things about being a nerd. I've kind of probably throughout my life I've touched on all of those, and I'll be talking a little bit about video games, about books, great books that are out, whether it's science, science fiction kind of books, or just a little bit of everything from the technology that everybody has to try to what the greatest show is on TV right now, which of course is Game of Thrones, as everybody knows. So I've already gotten some feedback on the first column from a gentleman in his 80s who said he always wanted to get into video games and he never gave it a chance. And he said he may now, I gave him some suggestions on where he can try, because he said he used to play tennis and can't play it anymore. I said, he's like, what could I start with? And I told him, well, there's always the Wii. Even though it's kind of an old device, it's a great game for people, to keep people's mind sharp. So there may be, everything from little kids to senior citizens that'll get, some benefit out of the column and could learn something new.
Look for Jay's column News for Nerds every other Monday in the Daily News Neapolitan section or online at naplesnews.com. Too much cheese? Come to find out, your diet in many cases can make you sick. We'll have the latest on GERD in our Positively Healthy report. Stay with us.
I can't tell you how many people come in and say, oh, I ate pizza and oh, the indigestion was horrible. Tomato products in general, chocolate, caffeine, spicy foods, and alcohol products can all worsen the chances of reflux.
Life here is amazing, and so is the joint care. At the Total Joint Center at Physicians Regional Healthcare System, we've changed the experience of joint replacement for good. With our comprehensive joint care program, most hip and knee replacement patients return home in just 2 days, because we know you want to get on with your active life. Pain-free living starts at Physicians Regional Medical Center, Collier Boulevard, and Physicians Regional Medical Center, Pine Ridge.
Hiring the right moving company is important. Best Moving and Storage is a family-owned and operated business serving Southwest Florida for over 22 years. From our free in-home estimate until the last piece of furniture is in your new place or stored in our climate-controlled warehouse, we treat you like family. Best Moving and Storage is fully licensed and insured, with all of our employees being certified drivers and packers. When it comes to protecting your treasured belongings, choose a company that's experienced and trustworthy. Call Best Moving and Storage today at 239-592-6565.
My name is Steve Unser, and cabinetry is my specialty. I have been creating custom designed cabinetry for 20 years in Southwest Florida. And now I am celebrating the grand opening of our new Naples showroom. Steve Unser Cabinetry will help you design your kitchen, bath, or home office with stunning results, offering the best quality of cabinets with a wide variety of design options and pricing to fit any budget. If your kitchen isn't becoming to you, you should be coming to us. Now 2 locations to serve you.
Indigestion, acid reflux, GERD. Whatever you call it, it's a pain in the gut. We've all had a taste of it. For some, it's a chronic condition. The good news is there are a few basic tips to follow that may give you some relief. Here's the latest from our experts in this week's Positively Healthy. Acid reflux getting the best of you? Doctors suggest a few small changes that can soothe your system and help lower outbreaks of indigestion.
I can't tell you how many people come in and say, oh, I ate pizza and oh, the indigestion was horrible. Tomato products in general, chocolate, caffeine, spicy foods, and alcohol products can all worsen the chances of reflux.
You may have a few food triggers of your own. If something irritates your system, try to avoid it. And be mindful, it's not just what you eat, but when you eat it.
I usually tell my patients, don't eat within 3 hours of going to bed because you lay down and that food is still digesting, and that can predispose you to some reflux.
Remember, heartburn is a result of the esophagus being exposed to acid due to improper digestion, so better managing meals may make an impact.
Having 3 large meals a day can predispose you. I usually tell my patients do 5 smaller meals. It helps with your metabolism and digestion, so it reduces the risk of reflux.
Excess weight also puts pressure on your system and contributes to acid reflux. Lightening up may alleviate symptoms. If you find yourself reaching for OTC several times a week, pick up a phone instead.
That's when you should come talk to your internist or your gastroenterologist about doing some further evaluation.
Being proactive about your health goes a long way in putting your body and your mind at ease. A longtime Naples clock store recently changed hands, as our reporter Robin DiMattia put it, pun intended. As the owners turned toward retirement, they feared no one would be there to take their place, as people who can expertly repair and service timepieces are a rare breed. When Jack and Sheila Anderson wanted to step away from their store Clockmasters, it looked as if the shop's time was up. But in stepped Benny Daldone just in a nick of time. Daldone is considered a horologist, which is an expert in the science of time measurement, something that passes with very little notice among the skilled trades these days, with very few people taking up the field. You can read more about this ode to exactness in Robin's story by searching the words clock business online at naplesnews.com. Our news products are full of interesting stories like that. For a look at what else we're working on, let's check out what's happening on the beat. Guys?
Thanks, Amy. So pretty soon we're going to find out exactly how serious Collier County is about building affordable housing here. They're taking a hard look at 3 sites that are already owned by the public, already owned by the county, to see if they can encourage developers to build workforce housing on those 3 sites. They're all in East Naples, and they still have several hurdles, you know, zoning issues and maybe even neighborhood issues that the county will have to clear. So we're going to be following that to see if they actually get moving forward, and you can find out more on naplesnews.com.
Hi, I'm Ashley Collins. I'm a reporter with the Collier Citizen. This past week I got a chance to sit down with Lucas Lai, a 12-year-old boy who has type 1 diabetes. He's actually going to Washington, D.C. this week with his family in order to speak out about type 1 diabetes, part of a congressional meeting with hundreds of kids around the country, talking to members of Congress to try to raise awareness and more funds for type 1 diabetes research. For more on the story and how Lucas Lai lives with diabetes on a daily basis, visit naplesnews.com.
I'm Shelby Reynolds. I'm a features reporter here at the Naples Daily News, and this week I'm actually taking an adult education class at the Naples Players Sugden Community Theater. This class is called Dancing in Heels, and it's just what it sounds like. It's designed for actresses and actors who are dancing on stage and acting in heels, but they found that a lot of women who just want to figure out how to, let alone walk in heels, are taking the class. So I'm taking it this week, and you can find it in print on Thursday in the Naples Daily News.
Up next, Brent Batten is always up to speed on the latest happenings. This is his weekly commentary.
Thanks, Amy. So this week's theme is Say Cheese. The roots of Say Cheese have something to do with photographers trying to get their subjects to smile. When you say cheese, your mouth makes a smiley shape, I guess. Only mine doesn't. Cheese. Did you see me smile? Cheese. There it isn't again. People ask me, why aren't you smiling in your picture in the paper? I tell them, I am smiling. That's my smile. They say, you look so serious. No, this is my serious look. This is a smile. See the difference? A big smile is overrated in my book. I don't trust people who are always smiling. I figure they're up to something. I think I would have made a good photography subject in the 1800s. People didn't smile for photos then. Smiling in a photo was considered bad form. People smiling in photos were considered mad or drunk. Come to think of it, maybe I should be smiling in my photos in the paper. I'm Brent Batten. Be sure to check out my column on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays in the Naples Daily News. Look me up on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thanks for watching.
Still to come, setting your sights on a new perspective in home decorating. That's ahead on Behind the Headlines.
If we glance up, we see this coffered ceiling, and what we're doing with ceiling details today is we are doing dimensional ceiling details. So just having the wood all at the same height is something that's still popular, but many designers are taking it a step forward and bringing in dimension to the ceiling detail.
It's Bear's lowest prices of the year sale. We're celebrating the opening of our new Orlando store with savings statewide. Save on designer brands like this Tommy Bahama sofa, just $15.77. This Pauladine bed, $6.67. Or this dining table, only $5.77. Take home this all-genuine Italian leather sofa for $7.77. We're growing to serve you better. Bear's lowest prices of the year sale.
The area's only 30 minutes or less ER service pledge means you'll find less waiting for the care you need. And because we're full-service hospitals, a lot more care if you need it. Less waiting, faster care. Only at Physicians Regional Healthcare System.
Is your auto insurance keeping pace with your life? Ask for a AAA Triple Check Insurance Review to see if your current policy is still a good fit. An agent will assess changes in your life, like new vehicles or drivers. Make sure you've got the right coverage and all the discounts you deserve. They'll also see how a AAA membership can round out your protection on the road. Plus, provide roadside assistance, discounts, free services, and vacation extras. Ask for your AAA Triple Check today.
If you ever aspire to turn up your design style, then you're in luck. In this week's Inspired Living, Janet Graham shares her tips on creating a fabulous ceiling.
Hi there, we're in Bonita National this morning, a beautiful new community by Lennar Homes, and they asked me to decorate a model for them several months ago, and I'd like to talk about ceiling details today. I want you to, if we glance up, we see this coffered ceiling, and what we're doing with ceiling details today is we are doing dimensional ceiling details. So just having the wood all at the same height is something that's still popular, but many designers are taking it a step forward and bringing in dimension to the ceiling detail. So if you look up at the ceiling, you can see the radius. That drops down about 4 inches. And then the beams, those drop down about 11 inches. So it's giving a lot more interest to that ceiling detail than just having a flat wood detail. So if you don't have a coffered ceiling in your home and you have flat ceilings, we can also do ceiling details. So behind me, right over the kitchen, there was a large area, and we just didn't want to leave it plain, so we picked out a simple design, something that complements the ceiling detail in the living room. But we used flat stock, that is 1 by 4 inch flat stock, and I designed just a simple design just to give it a little bit of interest. And also, if you go over to the dining room, we have another ceiling detail. We don't want to duplicate ceiling details, the same ones in the room. So you want your details to be different but all work together. So in the dining room, what we've done, again, another dimensional ceiling detail, and we have a square box that drops down 11 inches, and then the angles on the side, those drop down 4 inches to give you, again, a little bit more interest. Thank you, and I hope that I helped you when you design your new ceiling details.
Getting back to our focus on pictures, we asked our daily news photographers to share some of their favorite photos with us.
My name is Luke Frankie. I'm a photographer here at the Naples Daily News. Working on a story about the new Lake Trafford Pier they're going to be building out in Lake Trafford, which is in Immokalee. Part of our job, and what people don't know, is, sure, you can go there and just take photos of the pier. And that gets the job done, but it's really the time you spend getting to know the people that go to the pier. Why do they use the pier? Why is that special to them? I met folks that were fishing. They did it every day. They go out there to relax. I met families that go out there just to spend some free time. Kids that weren't in school, so how do they spend their free time in the summer? They go to the pier. I met a local man who had been there. He owns a marina, and got to go on an airboat with him. So it takes time. If you want it to be more than just photos of a pier, there's the story behind it and what makes it special for people that live in the area. Just taking time to understand them, where are they coming from, why are they there. It can be super easy if you're yourself and you take the time to care about someone. And I think that comes through in the photos when you do spend time. And so even in the simplest of assignments like that, you can get more just by spending a little bit of time with someone.
You can keep up with the travels of our photojournalists by following us on Instagram. Look for Naples News Photo. And finally, we're going to leave you with a few more images. These are from those ever-popular photo booths, the kinds you see these days at weddings and events. This one was set up at the recent Best of Bonita Awards. That's a wrap for this edition of Behind the Headlines. Thank you for joining us. You can always catch up on past shows by logging on to naplesnews.com. On the left-hand side under Quick Links, select Behind the Headlines. I'm Amy Osher. See you back here next week. Doctor Who, nerd or not nerd?
Definitely nerd.
Breaking Bad.
Nerd.
No, really?
Yeah.
Huh, Star Wars?
Definite nerd.
Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, ultra nerd.
Beaches.
Yeah.
Okay, we got something that's not nerdy.
Non-nerdy.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Super nerd.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, ultra nerd.
Plaid or stripe, which is nerdier?
Stripe.
AV club or photography club?
AV club.
High school football or spelling bee?
Spelling bee.
Okay. Stripes.
Stripes, the movie?
Stripes.
So what kind of stripes?
Print. Stripes.
I have no idea. I don't know
Plaid.
fashion. I don't know fashion, so
Plaid.
okay, non-nerd.
No, plaid's nerdy.
Is it?
Yes, come on.